One of the things that I've found as I've been looking at a lot of the New Zealand made amplifiers, especially the older ones with it, were combos.
Yeah.
The speakers weren't necessarily the best speaker, and I've had better luck running them into a separate speaker cabinet, and the sound obviously drastically changes at that point. Was it pretty hard in the original, some of those original amps, just to get a more dynamic speaker, I guess?
Okay. So what happened there, as far back as 1960, we had a factory in Auckland that was, they moved over to Waihi in the finish, and that was the Philips factory, and also Roller, which was a knockoff of the British Roller. And those speakers were, again, partially assembled here. So they were deemed to be New Zealand manufacture, so which they weren't, but of course they were deemed to be. And we were doing the same later. So that stopped bona fide importing of better quality speakers. That's the reason why a lot of the speakers then were either made by Philips or assembled by Philips or Roller. A company in Auckland called Accent Audio were, shall we say, blocking us from getting good speakers because they were seen to be making New Zealand-made speakers. That's the short history of that.
I
So
see.
consequently, a lot of the early amps were using New Zealand assembled speakers. There was no direct bottom line manufacture as such. Philips probably came the closest to it.
Okay.
I've still got some. They were okay speakers, quad boxes, combos, stuff like that. There was another speaker called David Reed or Dev Reed, which finished up in a lot of the Benny Gunn's Concord amps.
Mhm.
And there was a few other orphan brands that Jansen were doing as well back then, but they were mainly Philips speakers and Roller speakers under the New Zealand flag.